Hi guys, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with, excuse me, the next part of my $10 and under DIY Dollar Tree series. I've started this to do a craft project with you up until Christmas, so that's like 12, 13, 14, something like that, different craft projects ranging from fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving and Christmas. We are up to our third one in this series. I have done a DIY table runner and a DIY wreath, and I'll link both of those videos in the card. Where is it? Up there. So let's get started with what we're doing today. We are doing a set of 3 framed pieces of art. One is a checklist and 2 are just decorative ones to go either side. So let's get started and show you what you need to get from your Dollar Tree. We have one item outside the Dollar Tree this week, and that is spray paint. It is still under $1, but you just cannot buy it at Dollar Tree. So let's get started. This is what you're going to need for your project. You're going to need a pack of the words from Dollar Tree. It has thankful, what is it, harvest and welcome. Let's see those ones there. This is one from a previous pack which I'm going to be using. I just wanted to show you the full pack. 3 of the 8x10 frames. We are going to spray paint these. I have done one already to show you what it'll end up looking like. That is what the white frame will look like. So we'll need a can of spray paint. I picked up mine for 97 cents at Home Depot. It's actually down in the garage because we'll use that in our first step when we spray paint these. You'll need 2 or 3 of these burlap ribbons. I think we can get away with 2, but you may want to throw in a 3rd just to be safe. You'll need some internet printables, which I have prepared for you and I'll link in the description box below. I'm going to give you 2 sizes because there are 2 ways you can do the 3rd print. You are also going to need a Sharpie. So hopefully you already have a Sharpie on hand, but if not, I've included it in the budget as $1 at the Dollar Tree as well, because you can definitely get those there. And that is pretty much everything you'll need in terms of what you'll need from the Dollar Tree. The equipment you'll need a pair of scissors, a glue gun and some glue sticks. If you've been following my DIY series, you'll hopefully have had those from the previous ones, or you'll have them on hand already, but if not, you will need to factor those into your cost, noting that you'll be able to use those again and again and again in future projects, so the cost per use is actually quite low. So the first thing we're going to do to get started is to unwrap all of our frames, take everything out and just keep the actual frame itself, take out all the backing, all the glass, and then we're going to take it down to a well ventilated area. I do it in my garage with the door open because I don't have an outdoor space. Put newspaper down on the floor and then we'll spray paint these white. We'll go do that now. So this is the spray paint we're going to use. It's just a quick colour, fast purpose, all drying spray enamel in white. As you can see, I've taken my frames. I've already done one, as I said to you, so you'll be doing 3 when you do this. Lay it out in some paper. I had no newspaper, so printer paper it is. And then we're just going to do 1 coat, and then 20 minutes later we're going to do a 2nd coat. So let's get into it. So guys, these are what your frames will look like once they are spray painted. Now I did give them a 2nd coat and I forgot to film that, but it looks exactly the same as spray painting the 1st coat, but this is what it'll end up as. You may have some blotchy bits, there may be some bits that aren't quite perfect, but I actually think that works in this bit of decor because we're going sort of for a rustic fall themed anyway, so don't worry about too much about any little bits that might not quite be 100% right. So now that we've got the frames, we've let them dry. I actually let these dry overnight because I had to go to work. But anyway, you can let them dry as long as you like. Mine are perfectly fine now. So I'm going to pop these to the side and we're going to get started on the inside of our frames. So the next step, guys, is to unwrap your ribbon. We're going to cut even strips. Peel this off here. Even strips of this to cover our this is the back of the frame, the inserts. We're just going to cover that with even strips. Cut the strips first, then we're going to hot glue them down across. You'll need 4 to completely cover it, but I like to use 6 just to make it a bit thicker and fuller so you don't see as much of the cardboard through. Glue it down and then we'll trim off the ends. So that's what we're going to do now. So now that we've glued the burlap down, we're going to pick up our metal word. This one is the harvest one. We're going to pop some hot glue at all the key points to make it stick down, and then we're just going to stick it down in the middle of our burlap. Now we're going to repeat that twice. So this is the thankful one and this is the harvest one. So I do have one of each there. So thankful and harvest. I've sort of gone a little bit different on each burlap just to give them a bit more variety in texture. This one has more of an overlap at the top and this one has more of an overlap in the middle, but I think they'll look quite nice on either side of the main frame. So those are your first two done. The third one is slightly different, so let's get into that one. So our third one is going to be our fall checklist. As I said, there are two different ways you can do this, and I'll link both printables below. And I want to say thank you to Catherine from Do It On a Dime. I'll link her channel above. What is it going to be, this side? She sort of inspired this piece. She did a fall checklist, I believe it was last year. And I loved that idea, so I sort of made my own and took inspiration from her. So definitely want to give her credit for the fall checklist frame. So I have two different sizes. You could do a full size one and just stick it in there like this, and that would be perfectly fine. Or you could do what I'm going to do and make it slightly smaller so it will sit in the middle, because I just want to continue the burlap through each piece. So I'm going to do burlap around the outside of this frame. So let's do that first. Let's stick the burlap down, and then we'll stick our fall checklist on top. So the final step is to take your little checklist and center it and then stick it down with hot glue. Now my advice is just make sure you're doing it with the right way, because I'm going to put this one upright like this. So just make sure when you're gluing it down that you're sticking it in the right direction, so you don't have to try and peel it off and just stick it back on again if you've done it the wrong way around, which I may have done on one of the letter ones. I'm not saying I didn't, I'm not saying I did. So let's do that together. So now that we have glued that on, we are going to pop everything in their frames and see how they turned out, and then set up the final display. Now, because you've been playing with burlap ribbon, your glass will be a little bit dirty, so make sure you clean that before you pop it in. That is another tip for you. So when your final three pieces are framed, this is what it will look like. This is sort of how I'm going to display it, either on my mantle or on my sideboard, one of each of the word ones on either side, and then my checklist in the middle. Now, the reason that I told you to add a Sharpie to your list is that you can actually just tick off on the frame once you've done anything. It's great for kids if you have kids, because it allows them to get involved about what you do, and you can see as you're progressing what you've done. But you just take it and either cross or tick. Let's just cross that one there, as you can see. And because it's glass and Sharpie, it will easily either wash off with Windex, scratch off, or if it does get stuck on after a little bit, just a little bit of nail polish remover will rub it right off. So then you can reuse it each year and make it sort of a family tradition. So those are how the three ended up. Let me show you what they look like on display. So this is what they look like on display. Obviously, as I get towards fall, I'd probably put some more pumpkins and things, weaving around the front just to make it more of a fall scene. But the three together I think look really cute, and it's just a great idea, and it will get you involved in the season, because if you hadn't seen closely, there's a whole bunch of things there, easy things you can do that aren't super expensive to sort of make your fall. So that was my latest under $10 Dollar Tree DIY. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share, or comment below. If you've not yet done so, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. And if you are a subscriber, make sure you've got that bell icon clicked so you're notified every time I post a new video. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time, and happy fall.